Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Ochoku, your teacher to absolutely conquering your WAEC, NECO and JAMB math exams. So today we're going to dive deep into a topic that, trust me, is simple but it is guaranteed to show up on your exams. Standard form. So here is our game plan for today's masterclass. We're going to start with the absolute basics. What is this stuff? Then we'll level up and really master the core rules. After that, and this is the fun part, we're going to put it all to the test with real past questions from each exam. I promise, by the end of the session, you are going to have a complete success kit to just crush it on exam day. Alright, let's jump right in. What exactly is standard form? And more importantly, why is it such a game changer for grabbing those easy marks in your exams? I want you to think of it like a shorthand or a secret code for really, really long numbers. I mean, instead of writing out a massive string of zeros, standard form lets you write them in a way that's much shorter and way easier to handle. It's especially useful in subjects like physics and chemistry, where you're dealing with huge numbers all the time. I mean, seriously, with standard form, we can easily write down and manage massive numbers, like the distance between galaxies. Can you imagine trying to write that out on your exam paper without it? It would be a total nightmare. And it's not just for gigantic numbers either. Standard form is a total lifesaver when you're talking about incredibly small things. So instead of writing out a long string of zeros after the decimal point, you can use standard form to describe the size of an atom in a way that's just clean, neat, and super accurate. Okay, now that we've got a grip on the whats and the whys, let's get into the how. It's time to master the core rules of standard form. Now, this is the engine room. If you can get these rules down, you are well on your way to acing these questions every single time. So here's the deal. Every single number in standard form has to follow this exact format. It's a times 10 to the power of n. There are no exceptions. It's like the universal language of standard form, and you have to speak it perfectly. Okay, listen up, because this is the most important part. There are two rules, but one of them is where almost everybody messes up. It's the rule for a, that a has to be a number between 1 and 9.999 something. It can be 1, but it can never be 10. Got it? And n is just a whole number, positive, negative, or 0. Easy enough. Now, this is a game changer, you guys. This is a super simple rule that tells you if your exponent, n, should be positive or negative. So look, when you're converting a big number like 5 million, you move the decimal point to the left, and your power of 10 will be positive. But for a tiny number like 0.005, you move the decimal point to the right, and the power will be negative. Simple, right? And here's a little trick to lock that into your brain for exam day. Just repeat this to yourself over and over. Left is plus, right is minus. Left plus, right minus. It's a really simple trick, but it will save you from so many careless mistakes when you're under pressure. Alright, theory time is over. It's time to put our knowledge to the test. Let's see how these rules work with some actual past questions. And we're starting with WAEC. This is where the rubber meets the road, people. Okay, our first question is a classic multiplication problem from WAEC 2019. Now, WAEC is famous for this. They love to give you one small decimal and one large whole number just to test your conversion skills on both sides. Let's break this down step by step. First, we convert each number into standard form, then we multiply the a parts, the front numbers, and we add the exponents. But wait, hold on. In step 4, we get 13.5. And what was our number 1 rule? That a value has to be less than 10. So 13.5 is a big no-no. That's why we have to make that crucial final adjustment to get our real answer, 1.35. And this right here is a classic trap that so many students fall for. WAEC will almost always include 13.5 times 10 to the first as one of the multiple choice options, just waiting for you to pick it. So please remember to make that final adjustment. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about JAMB. Now, with JAMB, it's all about speed and accuracy. The questions might look a little easier on the surface, but they are packed with clever traps designed to catch you if you're not paying close attention. So here we have a classic addition question from JAM 2021. But here's the catch. You can't just add the numbers if the powers of 10 are different. It just doesn't work that way. The only way to solve this correctly is to make sure the powers of 10 are the same before you even think about adding. Now here's a tip. It's usually easier to change the smaller power to match the bigger one. So we're going to change that 10 to the power of 6 into a 10 to the power of 7. And once the exponents match, you can just add the a parts like normal. And here is the trap. Oh, I can almost guarantee you that 4.0 times 10 to the 13 will be sitting right there as one of the options. It's a classic trick designed to catch students who just rush in and forget that alignment rule. So you need to learn to spot this trap and you will be one step ahead of the game. Alright, let's talk about NECO. Now, NECO questions, they are known for being multi-step problems. They combine a bunch of different ideas to really truly test your full understanding of the topic. Okay, our final practice question from NECO 2020 is a real doozy. This one involves multiplication times a square root, which is a pretty high-level skill. This question is going to test everything we've learned so far. Okay, we're going to follow a very clear process here. First, we convert both numbers, then we multiply them, and finally we apply the square root rule to both the number part and the exponent part. And remember, the square root of 10 to the power of -2 is 10 to the power of -1. Why? Because you just divide the exponent by 2. Now, this is a really sneaky one that NECO examiners love to use to separate the top students from everyone else. If your exponent is an odd number, say 10 to the power of 5, you can't just find the square root directly. You have to adjust it to an even number like 10 to the power of 4 or 6 before you can proceed. That is an advanced tip right there. You guys are absolutely killing it. We have broken down standard form from every single angle. Now let's pull everything together into a powerful toolkit that you can take with you to ace your exams. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause the screen right now and take a screenshot of this slide. Seriously, this is your ultimate cheat sheet for standard form. It has everything you need on one single screen. So keep it, review it, and absolutely master it. And last but not least, here are 4 final tips to keep in your back pocket. 1. Always double check your A value. 2. For addition, always align your exponents first. 3. In JAMB, use estimation to save time. And 4. Be extra careful with negative exponents. These tips will help you avoid the most common traps and save you a ton of marks. So, let's be honest for a second. Take a minute and think about it. Which of these traps do you think you're most likely to fall for? Is it that final adjustment, the addition rule, maybe those tricky negative exponents? Once you identify your own personal weakness, you can practice it over and over until it becomes a strength. If you can master this topic, you are guaranteed to get those foundational marks on every single exam. If you're looking for more practice questions to really build up your speed and confidence, make sure you check out our website at examkp.com. And hey, don't forget to like this lesson and subscribe to our channel. Keep up the amazing work and I'll see you in the next masterclass.